Hi guys, we're gonna do a quick interview with the one, the only Borough Sound. So make sure you guys look out for when that drops. I am gonna mute this session because I want you guys to get all the tea, but I'll let you listen into a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
It's so weird because you weren't talking to me, but it felt like you were. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, we have Toronto's favorite fluffy Shay Sweetumz in the building. What's going on?
What's up? So excited to be here.
I'm happy you're here. This has been it's been a long time coming, and the show just finished, and I saw you at the reunion.
Yes.
And most likely by the time this is released, the reunion episode will be released.
Yeah.
So just off the bat, what were your thoughts about the reunion?
Crazy, absolutely insane. It was definitely an eye-opening evening for me. When I walked in there and everything started to unfold, I really took a sat down and just thought about my life, and how I got to this point that I'm in this room with these hooligans. So yeah.
When I was there that night, I realized like the total impact the show had because it brought out so many people, different people, and everyone was so into it. And the live event might have been one of the best parts of the whole show. Mm-hmm. So how has being on Real Bad Girls of the Six changed your life?
It changed my life for the good and the bad. So we'll start with the good. I'll say it definitely opened a lot of doors, a lot of opportunity. I was a content creator before getting on the show. I'm a TikTok live streamer, but it definitely gave me that extra boost that I needed to really get my content out in the city. A lot of my following is they're based in like the States and the Caribbean. So it was really an opportunity for me to connect with where I'm from.
Okay. And do you get recognized in public, and what's that experience like? And what demographic is recognize you? Is it usually people around your age, older people?
Okay, yeah, I get recognized all the time. To be honest, like I almost get recognized every day. Down to like even my kids' school, my kids' daycare, the doctor's office. I've got recognized at a pharmacy, like the library with my kids, like just random places. But yeah, there's no specific demographic. I've had super like teenagers in the mall, like girls that are in like grade 8, like, oh my God, I love you. And then I've had like, I think the person that was like the wisest demographic was an older woman. She was about like 67, and she had commented on a TikTok she saw that I made of my grandma. So I thought that was kind of crazy, the range.
Yeah, that is insane. And with being, I guess, somewhat of a public figure now, right? You're attracting a lot of attention towards you.
Yeah.
So how have the DMs been post-show? I mean, you said you were already a content creator and stuff, but
for sure,
it increased your visibility. So what do the DMs look like after that?
The DMs are crazy. They're a scary place. I try to stay out of them. The issue with my DMs is because on all my platforms, I'm a content creator. They give me like multiple DMs. So I have like a general and then like a primary and then DM request. So it's like all across all my platforms, there's just multiple inboxes and they're all overflowing with all kinds of people, men, women, just everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what are like the top 3 type of dudes that are attracted to you usually?
The yachties, bop. We yard man them. You guys know I'm Jamaican, so yeah, I love me some yachties. They love your girl. Like I'm a 10 in Jamaica easily. Easily. I don't know what Toronto doesn't like the fluffy girls, but in Jamaica, they love me. And then I would say I have a little sneaky link energy guys, the little Toronto rappers whose names I will not call, but there's a few Toronto rappers in my DM. But yeah, and then actually studs. I get a lot of studs. A lot of the lesbians love me too.
Okay, but when you're saying Toronto rappers, what tier of Toronto rappers? Like, because we all know rappers. Like, is he a rapper, but he also has like a regular job? Is he like a full-time rapper?
Full-time rappers. More than one. I'm not calling no.
Okay, so
they're out there.
Do you just see them like, oh, this is just another dude in my DM, or you're like, oh, that's blank?
I don't really follow up with, as I said, like Real Bad Girls of the Six was my real first introduction to the city. So I'm just getting to know like these people that are like legends out here. I'm like, who's that? Who's this? Like, I'm also not a rap connoisseur. I'm really a dance hall girly, R&B vibe. So again, like I'm just not familiar with it. But big up them. I'm not really fazed by it. It's cool. It's nice.
All right. So on the topic of Real Bad Girls of the Six, the show's over.
Yeah.
And I know you made some real friendships off the show. So from that show, who are your closest friends?
I would definitely say Cass. Right now, she's literally like one of my besties. Like we are working together. We're working on different projects and stuff. So she's definitely one. Hennessy and I have a love-hate relationship because Hennessy don't know herself. She's just Otaada. But I have a love for her that I can't. She's contagious. It's like once you know Hennessy, it's like get over here, knucklehead. Like I love that kid still. She's great. She's great. Um, I would say that's probably about Destiny. Love me some Destiny. Me and Destiny connected right away. I don't know if it's just a Jamaican girl vibe, but like definitely Destiny. Luigi was easy to fall in love with too. She unfortunately didn't get a lot of screen time during the season, but she's literally an angel. Like she has no place on that show. She is the sweetest girl in the world. I swear. But yeah, everyone else is cool too. I have no beef, no problems.
And during the reunion, they let you guys know who was staying for season 2 and who wouldn't be on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not recorded, right? The TikTok thing?
No, it's been on mute the whole time. I'll turn it back on when we do the biography part.
Okay, proper. So how did you feel that you weren't picked for season 2?
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What can I say? Honestly, it was like a bittersweet moment. I had always expressed to my audience and my fans that I was always iffy about season 2 because there was a lot of things I didn't like about the way the production was run during season 1, and it just made other aspects of my life very difficult. Like for example, school. I'm in school full time, being a mom. That of 2 kids, that's double full-time job right there. It took a lot away and it took a lot out of me. So I was always wondering, like I was weighing the pros and cons, but to be honest, I'm not mad at the decision. I respect it. Honestly, I've been facing backlash, and I'm sure I will face more backlash when people hear that I didn't make it. And I will say that I definitely feel like with me not making season 2, it actually opened up a lot of doors for me because it cleared the schedule. You know what I mean? Summertime's coming, and I am excited to watch the show. I'm still going to support the show. But if I had to be very honest with you, I would say that when it comes down to it, I'm always going to bet on me, regardless of who doesn't. So,
Did you feel like there was anyone selected for season 2 that maybe you were more deserving than in your eyes?
No, I think every girl played their part. And I also think that for some of these girls, like the sky's the limit with Bad Girls of the Six. Like it's probably as good as it's gonna get for them. So I'm not mad to take away place from someone who's needy. You get what I'm saying? Respectfully. I don't want to take away opportunity from somebody else who needs it. As I said, I came in there with a platform. I came in there on a mission. It was supposed to help to boost my impact, get me out there, get me networking, and it did exactly what it needed to do. So if my time is done, I walk with grace, and I'm just really happy I was able to be. I'll always be able to say I was one of the real Bad Girls of the Six, the first episode ever. And I hope that when it's on episode 25 and it's on a big network and I'm old and I'm telling my grandkids, your grandma used to be a real bad girl of the six, So it's all good. I'm just proud that I was one of the ones to do it first. And I also hope that I broke down some barriers for the girls that look a little different than the cookie cutter image that society really holds to a standard, kind of that perfect body, BBL, tiny stomach, big waist kind of vibe, So I really hope that season 2, I'm really excited to see for the auditions, the type of girls that come out. I hope more girls that are not the average ideal of a baddie, they come out and they showcase their talents.
Have you had any plus-sized women hit you up on some like gratitude kind
all the time?
vibes?
I'm really just the queen of the big girls out here. No, I get mad love. I get it all the time because the number one thing that they'll say is like, I would never. I always get the, you're so brave. I hate that comment when I get that. I get it all the time. You're so brave. You're so brave. I'm like, brave for what? Because I put on clothes and went outside? That's not supposed to be a thing of bravery. I didn't fight a war. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not taking down stormtroopers. I'm just wearing a short skirt. It shouldn't be that like detrimental to people that they feel like it's some form of like commandment or bravery. It's something so simple as getting dressed and coming outside. But I also, as a big girl who grew up without the confidence that I do have today, I understand where they're coming from. But Stop taking the backhanded compliments. Stop taking the backhanded compliments. They're big girls. You're beautiful because you're beautiful. You're not beautiful for a big girl. You don't dress well for a big girl. You just dress well and you're just beautiful. Straight up. Like, don't take these backhanded compliments. You're not brave for wearing a bathing suit to the beach. Like, you're a regular person. Like, stop making people put these ideals in your head like you're some kind of, But yeah.
So that's actually what I was going to ask you about. Was your size something you weren't confident about before, and then you built that confidence? And how did you go about building that confidence? Were there role models that you saw, maybe like a plus size female celebrity, and you're like, yo, like the way she's doing it, I'm going to do that as well?
Yeah. For sure. One of my favorite plus size content creators right now is Sasha Gay. She owns a clothing line called Flaws of Couture. And she grew up in Brampton. I actually went to school with her brother. So I've known the family for a little time. And she literally was a waitress at Denny's. And now she literally had like a clothing line collaboration with Shein. She has her own line and she's just killing it. She's just doing all kinds of things. She just got married in Ghana. Most beautiful wedding. So she's doing it. She's been doing it for the big girls. She's been putting it on and stepping out. And I've always looked up to her. I love her for sure.
Okay. So, okay, I have a couple more real bad girls of the 6 questions. In terms of the Sav versus Destiny
saga.
That
doesn't end.
It's more than a trilogy.
It is.
It is more than a trilogy. We saw the sisters get involved. We saw Sav's friend get involved.
Yes. Oh.
How did you feel about that whole fiasco?
I sat there and I said to myself, I said, girl, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing on the show? How did you get here? I used to be a suburban dude, like, but I feel like it could have been resolved a million times ago. Like, Sav came in the group chat, like, she came on, she always comes out with this, like, I don't know if it's the pressure of the audience or the pressure to perform in front of the cameras, but Sav off the cameras is actually a really nice girl.
So chill.
She's chill. She's a chill vibe. I think she's a little bit slow. I try to say it in the most respectful way. Like, I think her thought processing is slower paced. I'm not trying to diss her or anything, but she had a lot of opportunities to come clean, a lot of opportunities to apologize, a lot of opportunities to clear the air. You know what I mean? If she had even, when Destiny was trying to get her phone from her and pulled up at her crib, if she had even just said to Destiny, like, yo, I didn't know it was your phone, or I picked it up by, I was upset in the moment. I picked it up because I thought you pulled, you know what I mean? She had options. Like, she had a friend with her. Send the phone out with your friend. Give it back. Like, you did the whole dumpster dive, and then Destiny came in the group chat. And, like, I wish you guys knew the version of the show you saw was like 70% of the drama that actually, like, unfolded. The WhatsApp group chat was a living hell. Mental health crisis. I would wake up to 350 messages on some days. And you have to go through and read all 300 plus messages because you got to keep up with Wagwan. Because sometimes I'll go scrolling through and they'll be like, and Shay said this. And I'll be like, Shay didn't say that. And they would be like, oh, sorry, I mean Shy. That was a big mix up we used to have. You get what I'm saying? So now imagine I don't keep up with the group chat. I show up at the at a filming and I'm getting thumped in my face because they said Shay said, but it was Shy, but it was Cheyenne, or it was Cheyenne Roach, or General Shy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was stressing.
Okay, so what's one drama that happened in the group chat that didn't make the show? A part of that 30%.
What was it? There was drama that didn't make the show. I know me and TT kind of got into it in the group chat at one point on 2 separate occasions. A little bit of it spilled over into the reunion, but at that point, I had already decided that coming into the reunion, I wasn't going to physically fight anyone. I wasn't even coming there to argue too tough. I was really over it, especially when it came to TT. Yeah, there's nothing to argue with there for sure. So I just let it go. But
so
there was
are you guys
drama
cordial?
Like, yeah, like I don't really have any beef with her. Best of luck to her on season 2. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, so I want to get into Shay Sweetumz as a person. Pause.
I mean,
I'm
okay, like turn off the lights though.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
But okay, so from the beginning, where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in the countryside in Jamaica in a parish called St. Elizabeth in a small town called Big Woods, or is it a city, I guess? It's called Big Woods. It's literally like red dirt country. I left Jamaica when I was, I believe, 1.5, 2 years old. I was actually adopted by a Jamaican family that lives in Canada. So I
Okay.
came up here around that time, and then I was raised in Canada.
Brampton, right?
Brampton. I
Okay.
started off in Etobicoke. We used to live in Tanneridge for the first couple of years, and then eventually went over to Brampton for the majority.
Okay, so what was it like growing up in Brampton? It's a very
Seasoned city.
Yeah, I was gonna say diverse, but it is largely Punjabi.
It is.
And so you went to school there. So what were the demographics like? Were you like a minority in the school?
Definitely. I remember our graduation had like 300 kids, and out of the 300, like it was like 200 of them had the last name Singh. So when they got to the S part, like we were there for a while. But I love the brown folks. I love the brown people. I think they're a vibe. You guys ran up the car insurance in Brampton. I don't rate you for that, but everything else, I love you guys. You guys are great. I have a 1-2 good friends, brown girls. I love them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I DJ'd a prom for like a Brampton high school. So I was seeing the demographics and I did see it was like the Punjabi dudes were like the cool like bullies in the school. Like they were running the school, you know what I'm saying? So, but then I also realized like other pockets of different ethnicities kind of stuck together.
Yeah.
Was that what ended up happening? Was it almost kind of segregated in that sense?
Like, yeah, you had like the kind of like, I guess, fresher brown guys. They were kind of together. And then you had like the really popular brown guys. Some of them might have been on like sports teams that kind of like hung around with the black guys and the black folks. So there was a little diversity, but there's definitely like cliques and groupings.
Okay, interesting. But I do know there's actually a pretty big black community in Brampton too. Like there's a lot of parties that happen and stuff. So growing up, were you going to those like basement jams and like them type of thing?
I was outside still. I was a very good child to my mother. She'll probably comment on this video and say different, but I was very trustworthy when it came to going out. So my mom trusted me. She would let me go out to like all ages and stuff. I started party promoting at like 15, and I was like a party promoter until I was like 20-ish.
Yo, can we talk about how all ages was just a normal thing where underage girls and men that were like 30, 40 were partying together?
There was this club in Brampton called Town Talk. It used to be called like, it was called Hype, and then it was called like Club on Queen at one point because they kept changing the name because they kept having to change the owner, but it had an upstairs and a downstairs. And legit, the craziest thing that I ever experienced is they would literally have an all ages upstairs and a 19 plus in the basement. And after going to the all ages for so long, we got so good with all the security and all the staff and stuff. We were just going right downstairs. Like it was like nothing.
And there were full-grown men.
And it's full-grown adults partying and drink liquor. Sorry, mom. Drinking and liquor and all that good stuff. Like,
and would they interact with the underage girls?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
definitely. Swerve. Honestly, the more I sit and think about it, I'm just like, man, you were almost groomed a couple times if I wasn't careful. Because I was like, shit. Yeah, you're telling me I'm mature for my age, and I'm, it's like.
But in high school, like during that era, no one was thinking these guys are
they have cars,
pedophiles and stuff. Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
They have cars, they got money, and like the young girls. This generation is. I thought my generation was rough with it, but this generation of girls is straight pimping. Like these girls are like.
Financial domination.
You need to like run the bag. Like back when, we used to still date for like little like puppy love and cute boyfriends and stuff. But the goal is always like kind of like a big man, the independence in the car and all that. Well, for me at least, as a hot girl for a long time,
Do you feel like you want to marry for love, or would you rather marry for status and stability?
The first time I got married, I married for love, but this time around, I don't think I would get married again, to be honest with you. It's not really in my books right now. But I would encourage people to marry for love because everything else, it comes and goes. But if someone genuinely loves you and they support you, like that will stay, right? Because the person could lose their job. You guys could lose your health. Anything can happen. Natural disaster can wash away your cars, your houses, and everything. It's like, but if that person's the person you actually love, like they're going to stick by you.
do you think everyone has a soulmate, or is that a fictional idea?
I think everyone has multiple soulmates. I don't think the idea of having one soulmate makes sense. There's just too many people in the world. And I always try to encourage like the younger generation of girls, like, do not breed, do not have kids for these men. Take your money and travel. Take your time in your youth and travel and explore. Because you're not gonna sit here and tell me that everybody lives in Brampton, soulmate live in Brampton. That don't make sense to me. There's so much countries in the world. We can't all be in love in the same neighborhood. Like, it's just not it. And this is why the dating pool in Toronto looks how it looks, because we're all just recycling the same pond. Get out there, travel to other countries, like see other people, have new experiences. I'm a big traveler, so yeah.
Okay, and you were speaking like about girls breeding for these dudes and stuff, right? Like, why do you feel like there's a lot of single motherhood in the Black community?
Um, I think, well, obviously there's, if like you look historically, I'm not gonna get into all of that, but there's a lot of systemic racism. There was a lot of things that were done back in the day, even like the introduction of welfare being introduced to the Black community was solely based on that woman being a single mom. Otherwise, they were not getting any help from the government. It's still the same thing that we see today. So it actually pays more to be a single mom. You're financially better off almost than sometimes having a partner, depending the kind of partner that you have or what the job they do is. Because I remember, sorry. I forgot the volumes on this. I need the round of applause.
That was good. That was good. You were cooking. I was cooking. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no, but it's unfortunate. I think there's just a lack of accountability, a lack of family traditions. There's definitely a big connect between my generation, I think my parents' generation. I think our generation is like some real badass radicalist type people. Like, we were really like pushing all of the stigmas and opening up a lot of doorways. But at the same time, it's like, that's just one thing, unfortunately, in the Black community that I feel like we struggle to just get together on is, yeah, it's just difficult. And then the women, I feel like it's generations, sometimes it's a generational thing. A lot of generations of single mothers raising kids that grow up to be great kids and good members of society. Like, not every single mom is raising, you know what I mean? There's a lot of amazing people. But it comes down to the fact, like, if I sat there and saw my mom as a single mom, she wasn't, I lived in a 2-parent household. But for example, if I saw something like that, for me, I think I can understand why the younger girls, they grow up quick in the Black community. Younger Black girls are automatically looked at as fast, as like, there's just a bad, it's racism. It just comes down to pure racism at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate that we just can't get it together. But there are a lot of Black countries, especially like in the continent of Africa, they hold very prideful to the traditional way of getting married and having kids. I personally held on to those values because I got married before I had kids. But again, sometimes, you know, like, I'm still a single mom now.
But do you feel like the presence of religion helps with that? Because I met a lot of
values.
Yeah, I guess values, because you were talking about those African countries and stuff, like they're very big on culture, values, religion.
100%.
And there are a lot of like religious church-going Jamaicans who prioritize marriage and
there's
family.
There's a lot of like, me personally, I grew up in a 2-parent, like, I was adopted, yes, but the family that adopted me was a 2-parent household. Mom and dad married. They're going on like 31 years of marriage. My grandparents married, aunties, uncles, majority of people in my family are married. So, but I do understand. I also think there's this disconnect for the men where it's like, I don't know what their problem is. I can't speak for the men, but the women of nowadays, I find, have to be more masculine. And I can attest to that feeling of having to be the man, having to pick up the slack, especially when you're left to be a single mom. You really have to pick up the slack. So it becomes to a point where you become so hyper independent. Like, I am so independent because I do everything myself and I'm going out there to get it myself, that at this point, a man is a liability instead of an actual, like, you know, like a positive role.
And I think
for some women,
I think the more you do for yourself, the harder it would be for you to let your guard down for a man. Like, he'd have to do all that you do plus more for you to fully
And then
be
when you meet a man
soft.
And you look at him and you're like, these are my standards and I need all of this, then it's like, oh, you're a gold digger, or you're this, or you're that. And it's like, no. It's like, what do you bring to the table? Great, but I am the table. So I'm gonna need you to bring a lot. You got to fill it up. You know what I'm saying? I am the structure. I'm the one that's gonna hold it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
damn, I think now
there's a disconnect in genders.
Yeah. Do you think that's economic or do you think that's cultural? Because it takes more for a man to be able to provide for a woman now than it did maybe 40, 50 years ago. Or even if you go even more back when women weren't even going to school or working, it's like all you needed to do was have a job as a man to really allow this girl to be in her soft girl era, so to speak.
Okay, but
they didn't know better, you know?
But it also comes back down to this. It's like the men had a head start. The men could vote. The men could drive.
But we had like a 10,000 year
head start. The men had a head start. Okay? You guys had all the opportunities. You guys ran government. You guys ran schools. You guys ran hospitals. Women were second-class citizens for hundreds of years. From caveman days, these mans are hitting us with the club and throwing us over their shoulder. Like, literally, you guys have been the dominant one from day one. And now that we've gotten to a point in society where obviously women have fought for their rights, we're not letting those rights go to waste. We're finna stand up and be independent and show you that we can be equal. But now, it's like the men have now sat down and said, well, the women have taken over, so fine. Like, you know, step up too, bro. Step up too.
We're like, yo, we had it for 10 million years. Like, we're chilling now. You guys provide.
Yeah, you guys do it.
You guys do it.
Now they want princess. It's one of those where I feel like maybe the men they feel underappreciated. And I hear a lot of men say that they don't feel appreciated for what they can provide or what they do provide. I've been told by a partner before, like, they didn't feel appreciated. And I was like, how don't you feel appreciated? Like, you know, but if that's their perspective, it's what it is. And I think sometimes when people don't feel appreciated, it's like they're not motivated.
Yeah,
like the men are not really motivated. Resentment. I also feel like another thing, like, yeah, as you said, women, we used to be in the house, like, locked away, but now we're outside on OF, like, playing with our cats. So it's like the men also don't really have much motivation. So they're not motivated because everything is just laid out there. It's like, you know?
Yeah, and especially with, like, content and like all this other stuff.
It's so easy. It's easy to be sleazy, you know?
It's just easy to be sleazy, for real.
It is. And then you have these girls that also, you know, big respect to all the workers. I love those hoes. Like, y'all do y'all thing, you know, make your money. But it's also gotten to a point where now they are so used to this fast cash life that if they're not with a guy who's living a fast cash lifestyle, then it's like they're not satisfied. But the guys that are living the fast cash lifestyle are usually dope boys. So then now they're stuck with like, okay, well, like, I want a nice husband that's romantic and takes care of me. But you want dope boy lifestyle and dope girl lifestyle. So then it's like, you got to pick. You want that humble guy that's going to hold you down and be a good father to your kids. You might want to go with that guy who's, you know, that nerd in the corner with the glasses that's not 6 foot tall. And might not be that handsome. You know what I'm saying? But he's reliable.
No, I agree. And back in the day, I used to think sex work was just like straight up strippers and hookers. But there's this like in-between area where it's people that work regular jobs or do regular things. And it's not like they're just going to smash anyone for money, but they might have like a 1-2 trick that can keep them afloat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna comment on that one.
I mean, I wasn't talking about anyone in particular. I'm just saying, like, in general. I can't comment
on that still because I might have a 1-2 still. But like,
God.
No, it's not like that. But it's like, you know.
Hey, man.
Lifestyle.
No,
but I get what you're saying. Definitely, I think, like, again, the men worked as hard as they used to work because the women were the prize. And the women were a prize that you could only get through being an upstanding citizen because you had to go to that girl's family to get her hand in marriage to get that girl. It was a whole process of working. So men took more pride in, you know, who they were. But then it's like, I feel like everyone's standards, men and women, all of our standards have dropped, but our wants have increased.
Our expectations
have increased.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
It's bad on both sides. There's no one gender to be, it takes two to tango. So it's like, yeah, maybe I feel like the men are not motivated, but why are they not motivated? It's because the gal them are easy.
But you know what has been able to work? I wouldn't say arranged marriages always work. They have a higher success rate than...
They have a higher domestic violence rate as well.
For real.
We can cut it right there.
Jeez.
That's not it.
But what I was going to say is
I get what you're saying, the structure.
Even traditionally, like when you're like, oh, I have to go to their family. Like before, marriage was not based on love at all. Like it was purely transactional. It's like my family, your family. What is the exchange?
It's for the better of the generation,
and
right?
the community. It's like, okay, your family, my family, we're cool. You have a daughter, I have a son. They're gonna have kids. Now we're building this like.
So now instead of it
empire.
being two different families of 10, it's a family of 20 plus. How many y'all gonna bring in? It's legacy. That's what it was. Remember, it takes a village. We've lost touch with the village. We're too into the city life. I think we've lost touch with that a little bit.
You know, that's interesting you say that because apparently humans aren't meant to live in communities bigger than like 50 or 60 or like 80 people, like something less than 100.
You get that like sheep type mentality. People, like, you know?
No, I feel you. Yeah. This is a random question, but have you ever had men publicly bash plus size women and still swerve on you?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Me personally?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say bash, but definitely, like, for example, like, there's this one Toronto rapper, stay in my DMs, stay in my Snapchat, see him on the street, and we'll walk past like he don't see me. Or he'll take long to come in, like, if we're in the club and it's a group settings, like, everybody else will be, like, big highs, and he'll be like, hi. And I'll be like, okay. Please go. Like, you know? They're scared. They're scared of the big girl status. I don't know what their issue is.
Yeah, why do you think there's this stigma? Is it just...
It's not the cookie cutter. It's just not what's in. It's just not the in thing to be fat. It's almost never been the in thing to be fat. I feel like now maybe there's a little bit more leeway. For sure, there's a little bit more acceptance, but it all comes down to it. There's a stigma about fat people, and it's gonna live on forever.
Okay, so why do you said you do really well with Jamaicans, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think Jamaican men appreciate bigger girls more than other men?
I think because they come to the understanding that, like, they're looking for example, especially if you're a pretty plus size girl, they're looking for, like, they're not looking at all of that because they know that at the end of the day, like, coochie's there, like, it's a woman. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, coochie gonna slap. They might just have to hold up my belly a little bit, but the coochie's gonna slap. You know, and then there was also this, like, kind of like this mentality that they have, and it's not even just Jamaicans, it's here too, that big girls don't get play. So the guys who do go for the big girls, they're expecting almost like virgins, almost like really, like, you know, untouched by society, or they're expecting these girls to have this kind of standard where it's like she'll accept almost anything, like low standards. So it's like easy to swerve on big girls, I guess. I don't know.
So do you ever get disrespected with a dude? Like, why do you think you could swerve on me? Like he was like overshot?
Not even that, but like when I shoot them down, that's where like the attitude comes out. It's crazy. Like high school, like kids days, it was always like it was be like a holla at you, and I'd be like, nah, I'm not interested. You're not my type. Like, you're a fat bitch anyways. And I'm like, as soon as you turn these niggas down, you gain 150 pounds immediately. Cause like, sir, when you approached me, I know you saw what I look like. Or your eyesight wasn't good until you know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
Right. There's also this association. They always had like childbearing hips, like back in the day, Victorian era. Like there's like fertility associated with bigger girls. Yeah.
There's wealth associated with bigger girls in a lot of countries too. So little one, two
we got the resources.
There's a 1-2 countries in Africa. You go up there as a big girl, you're rich because it takes a lot of money to eat to look like that. This is very rich. And if you look through like history, even back to the Victorian era, the kings are all stupid fat. Like most of them were like morbidly obese. Like King Henry could barely breathe or walk. Like he was dying.
That was the flex though. Like
that was
I gotta
the flex.
Be fat.
You're big, you're rich. It shows wealth, right? But now, of course, it just shows like you're unhealthy and you're a slob and you probably smell type energy. Yeah.
Because now everyone's fat. Everyone
now
has
you're just a flat slob and Americans and cheeseburgers. I'd be like, listen, let me tell y'all something right now, I didn't get this body by eating cheeseburgers. I got this body by eating oxtail, rice and peas, extra gravy, fried chicken on the side, okay? This is not a cheeseburger body.
Are you most attracted to an athletic build, a skinny build, or a plus-size male build?
I like me some skinny guys. I don't know why. The skinny guys love me. I love them. We just go together like chicken on a shish kebab. Like we a vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to describe it, but I like, there's a saying in like Jamaica, like too fat can't make fire. I never go for plus size guys. They're not my type. Listen, both of us can't be fat.
That's like self-hating. That's
It's,
like, when
no.
people are like, I don't go
It's
for my
like,
own people.
no. It comes down to nothing more than the aerodynamics of it.
The logistics.
The physics.
Okay.
The physics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's either someone who's skinny or someone who's like athletic build, but you won't go for like a fat dude.
No. We're both, first of all, one of us has to be able to catch our breath. We can't both be in there with asthma attacks. How is this gonna work?
Okay.
So I'm just joking. No, I'm playing with you. No, but on the reals, the only time I've ever like slept with like a big guy, he was like tall. He was like 6'6" and like 350, like size 15 shoe, like big nigga, like Samoan type vibe. And like it was good and all, but like it's just, I don't know, something about the skinny guys. They just hit better. It's like an elastic band. It's like the claps be clapping. I think I like that sound too. The clapping sound. Yeah. You don't get a clapping sound with two big people.
Oh, here's
it's just cushioning. Yeah. Yo, it's soft. It's the softest cushioning. It's like two pillows rubbing together. It's like this.
It's heavy breathing, is what it
is. You're sweating. I'm sweating. You can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
If I'm holding up your belly, who's holding mine? It can't work. It just can't work.
Now he got to hold two bellies.
Now we're both holding belly. Yeah, it can't work. We can't work. It's too much.
That is insane. Yo, so you spoke about how in Jamaica you're a 10 and they like thicker girls, but there's also colorism there too, right?
There is.
Okay, so
I'm a double 10.
You're a double 10. What's the reaction when you're in Jamaica, and do people comment on the lightness of your skin?
Red skin gal. They love to call you, like, if you're light skin, like my kind of light skin, red skin. They'll even call me like, they've called me like dodos before, like that's what they call like albino people. Like they've deadass thought I was albino before.
I kind of thought you were albino.
That's crazy. Albinism is no melanin. I cannot be. Am I that white?
No, it's more just like, I feel
I'm darker than
you are.
So like, what the hell is it? Because you have black. Like, what is it?
I don't know.
I mean, okay, we're the same color.
We're the same color. Okay, no, but because you have okay, I was gonna ask you, we don't have to include this, but like your biological parents, like, are they both black?
Yes. Let's set the record straight.
That's why I thought you were albino. So both your biological parents are black.
No, my dad's light skin. My dad's my complexion. My mom is like a medium to darker tone brown. But yeah, no, both my parents are born Jamaicans. My grandparents were born in Jamaica. It gets technical through the great grandparents. And a lot of people, like, when it comes to the color of my skin, it's always been a hot topic issue for me, because literally I will have people come to me and they will be like, you're like, first of all, people don't even come to me and say, are you mixed? They'll just come up to me and be like, which one of your parents is white, your mom or your dad? What the hell? Like, none of them. They're like, so who's white? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me who's white. And they're like, one of your parents has to be white. Your hair, your da-da. And I'm like, no. If you look at genetics, there's a thing called recessive genes, and sometimes they just travel through. And I will say something about, I don't know if it's my dad or his dad or what it is, but there is some like Syrian and like German on my dad's side, way up top, way back, like slave days. Like, it's just really mixed in there. And it's just really traveled through the generations, because even my kids, white as shit. Like, and their dads are black. Like,
have people ever tested your blackness because you're light skinned?
Yeah. Like, people have legit come up to me and they'll be like, oh, like, which one of your parents is white? Because apparently, like, if you're mixed, but you're born from a white mom, like, you're white, go back over there type of vibe. That's
white mom.
Interesting. If you come from a black mom, they like try to question, like they hold like a higher esteem if you were birthed and raised by a black woman than if you were raised by a white woman as a mixed person. And you can go ask them, it's a real thing out there. Because they just assume that you weren't raised right. You were raised white because you're raised by a white woman. So they're just assuming like, you didn't go through the black struggles of having a black mama is a different type of, you know? So when I be telling people like, no, like my mom is, no, you're good. I be telling people like my mom is black. Like, she's actually like the darker one of the two. It's my mom. They're like, oh, okay.
But a lot of the Hebrew Israelites that I've spoken with, they hold it has to be the seed, like the father's side, that determines your tribe or whatever. It
does. And it's funny you said that, because my adoptive parents are actually Hebrew Israelites. So
really?
They actually strongly follow the faith, and they go to the church and they do all that.
It's in your Benjamite.
I don't know what they say we were. I don't know, but
I think Jamaica is Benjamin, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
I'll have to check with my mom, but yeah.
Okay, so what are you working on now post Real Bad Girls of the Six? I know you're doing your streaming, your live streaming, and you're making content, but what else can we expect from Shay Sweetumz?
Expect to see me everywhere doing everything. Like literally, I'm outside this summer. You guys, I just can't wait. I'm currently working on a ton of brand ambassadorships. I am a brand ambassador for Allure Carnival, which is a connection I got directly through Bad Girls of the Six. So big up everybody over there. So I will be at all the big fetes. I will be playing Mask, Caravana. You guys will see me out in my costume jumping up. I'm also working with a plus size clothing boutique in Brampton. Recently signed up to be their brand ambassador for Curvy Chicks. And I'm just so in love. It's like literally a dream come true because the idea of a plus size boutique, me growing up, was never a thing. I had to buy like oversized men's jeans, bring them to the tailor to get them turned into skinny jeans when I wanted my first pair of skinny jeans. I'll never forget I spent almost $200 on my first pair of skinny jeans because I had to get them custom made, and I wore those to the ground. Like I wore them out. I wore them till the thighs were gone, and the big girls know. The big girls know. The thighs till they rubbed out, and then I would just wear like leggings under them because they were so expensive. So the idea of like now at my age to not only be Toronto's favorite fluffy and have a platform where I can be proudly who I am, but to also be collaborating with a plus size boutique, a whole store, blows my mind. So I'll be doing a lot of content creating. I'm linking up with a lot of other creators. I do have another show that I am on and in the works. So I'm really excited for that. And you're going to see a lot of familiar faces on it. So you guys get ready to that. I'm bringing a lot of content creating. I'm hoping to step away from the Bad Girl franchise and let people see that I'm a very peaceful, loving person. And I'm really out here to network and collaborate with all kinds of people. I want to really be that driving force that helps bring Toronto together. I think DJ Snoopy and Alana did that with the show. So I just want to continue doing that for the city, for sure.
And hopefully Shay Sweetumz and I will go to Jamaica and film some content.
We're working on the Jamaica trip.
Some things in the works, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully.
I'm ready to book in like 3 weeks. I'm just like, you know.
Well, okay, so I spoke to my cameraman.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, would you come if I paid like just for your stuff or whatever? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'd be down. So if it could be us three, maybe like a 1-2 more. But you're saying we should go when
I'm going to have a few more people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a little Airbnb thing. We get the local rates because, you know, I'm a Jamaican citizen. So, yeah, we don't pay no tourist rates when we're down there. We're paying island price.
Yo, things. So you know how you're saying when you go to Jamaica, they're like, oh, redskin gal, whatever.
Redskin gal.
So, like, do the girls be saying that stuff to the men? Like, if I walk down, are they going to be like...
Whitey.
That's... okay. It doesn't sound as sick.
Yeah, you know, you're going to get that. You're just going to get it all the time. Like, the men, the women, they're just going to call you Whitey, like, right off the bat. Yeah.
And what should I say? Should I like me there? Like, don't know. Like,
I don't know. I hear them up. Bad man thing is in.
Respect.
You see? You're already there. Don't worry. We'll get you all brushed up. You'll be like legit when you leave. We'll give you your Jamaican citizenship by the time you leave.
What if I never want to leave?
That's the problem. I know a lot of people. It happened to my auntie's husband. He was a white guy. She brought him to Jamaica one time. Packed up and moved back.
That's the thing. When white people, when we like something,
y'all take it. Y'all take it.
Full on crackhead status. Full on addiction.
Giving colonizer energy, but y'all just got that in you.
I might take a little basement apartment in Kingston or something.
Yo, outside $400 a month.
American?
Canadian. Some places you can rent like a small, like 1 room. Like.
Okay, so how much would it cost for me to live in Jamaica comfortably in Canadian dollars every month?
Couldn't really break. See, the thing with Jamaica is even though like the their dollar is set away where like for example, depending on a job down there, you can work 40 hours and you'll make something like $80 US for a 40-hour work week for like lower wage jobs. But a lot of people don't rent. A lot of people own their homes because they own the land and they build. And a lot of it is generational. So a lot of homes are passed down through generations, and over time, like your grandma would live there, it was a 1-bedroom, but like when her kids got big, everybody comes back and builds another room and builds another floor, and then before you know it, it's like a big old like 20-bedroom house and there's no mortgage, right? Okay. But there is a lot of struggle, but it's a beautiful place.
Okay, so how much Canadian dollars would I have to walk around with to be a surdy guy. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to get robbed.
Just like on a day out, like
yeah,
okay,
just to be like, whoa, that guy's a baller.
Oh,
like,
to be a baller?
Maybe not a baller, but yo, that guy's like, yeah, he's a don. Like,
well,
damn.
bottles are cheaper, so like in the club, like maybe like 2-3 bills. You can
then
like
I'm
really
a super
down.
guy.
Yeah, because you buy a couple bottles.
But that's kind of like here, like 2-3 bills for.
You can't buy no bottle here for no 2-3 bills. What club you going to buy no bottle for no? Well, maybe
Twilight
it's like
Fusion.
yeah, like maybe like the kind of maybe those, but like the actual like especially the dance hall parties.
Oh, okay.
The last time I looked up at a bottle of Appleton was like 220, 250. Like you start getting into like the Julios and the Casamigos and that, you're looking upwards like 3, like you're up there.
Are you always getting bottles if you go to a club, whether you're getting them or someone else is?
I am a very light drinker. I started drinking in 2019 at the age of like, I don't know how old, 20, 24, 23. I've never been a drinker. The most I've drank is being on The Real Bad Girls of the Six. You always need a shot when you get in there because Lord. I always got to take a shot when I get on set. I'm like, all right, you know?
Here we go.
Yeah, it's like,
all right. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
What kind of girls are we gonna get you when we get you to Jamaica?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like,
what's your type?
What is my type? I like them all. No, but I don't know. If I was in Jamaica, it's more like what the vibe is. Because I could see a dark skinned girl and think she's attractive. Yeah, I could see a light skinned girl and think she's attractive. You're basing off of like, okay. Like vibe and like more. How much do you like me? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they gonna like you a lot.
Yeah, but I know that's what they're seeing. They don't know my situation.
Not even that. They're also seeing the kids, little mixed ass kids. There's a little bit of colorism in the country. So
should I just go there, drop my seed, and then just pull back up and just send money every month?
Yeah, one time.
That doesn't seem like, honestly, that doesn't seem like a bad idea.
It's not.
Like in terms of life and like
you fly in.
But like she's definitely gonna give me bun there. Like she's gonna have a man there.
Oh yeah.
But I have to just accept that she's raising my.
But that's okay. Like depending on like what the relation's like. But I mean, like bring her here.
That's what she wants. And then I'm gonna bring her to Fusion Lounge.
90-Day Fiance. Bring her here. Why not? I think that's where, like, certain cultures are lacking. Because growing up in Brampton taught me they're not marrying nobody here. It's rare. They be going home and bringing that in. They be bringing it in. They be carrying their people in. You know what I'm saying? The population doesn't grow overnight like that. They bring it in. They keep their families together. They do their thing. We're not bringing them in. You see, anytime you bring a Jamaican man in the country, especially if you're a non-Jamaican, like the Jamaicans are like, green card.
But I've heard horror stories of white tourists who like fall in love on vacation. Then they bring their partner here, and then the partner goes crazy, deuces, gone.
Okay, but in all fairness, like if you are a 59-year-old white woman who's never been to Jamaica, goes on vacation and thinks that you have found love, stop right there. You're being scammed, like straight up. There's no way if you're not pulling a 29-year-old black guy here, miss, you're not pulling them there off of anything more than what you could do. So it also comes with a little bit of delulu. So the white women need to take on accountability. And on TikTok, there's a whole rabbit hole of white women that I literally follow that it's like a sport. Like every 6 months, it's a different guy and they're flying to Jamaica to go be with their, my hubby. It's like literally a thing.
Oh, so they
and then when they break up, they're on TikTok throwing themselves on the floor, crying, he's a gold digger, he was a user, I was paying for everything. And these are women that I will see on the live stream with the men when they're good, defending it. I don't pay for everything. He has a job too. He works. As soon as they break up, she's dropping on the Western Union receipt. She's like, look. I'm like, sis, come on.
She's like, I paid for Winston's truck driving course.
Yeah.
I brought him here. He stayed with me. He didn't have a job.
And his name's always Winston. Because he's Jamaican as fuck, eh? Winston is it's such a...
It is a Jamaican-ass name.
Winston!
I've only met Jamaican Winstons.
Winston. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
The only other Winston is Winston Churchill, and that's about it. It stopped right there.
Yeah, he might have been Jamaican too. We don't know.
Yeah, that...
How about George? Is that a common name?
Yeah, George is okay.
Okay. That's actually my real
There's
name.
a lot of Berts, like names ending with Berts, and then there's also a lot of Roys. Delroy. I'm going to flop out on the names now because now I can't remember. I know a U-Roy, a Delroy.
Okay, so wait, give me the top 5 Jamaican names.
Shit, top 5 Jamaican names. What's a very Jamaican name? I think like Kadeem. I think Kadeem's a very Jamaican name. I feel like I only know Jamaicans named Kadeem. Someone said Fitzroy, but it's not. Fitzroy is not really common, but that's another Roy. Anything with a Roy. Kevin. Kevins. Oh my God, Kevins are the worst. Juniors. O'Shane. Delroy. Hakeems. Them two. Donovan. Michael. They're giving me some of the names. They're helping me out.
Okay, so
Everton. Everton's Anthony. Crazy. Anybody named Junior.
I searched on Google, and this is what came up.
Yeah.
Common boy names in Jamaica include Jakai, Kevon, Jelani.
Jelani. I have a brother named Jelani.
While girl names include Isla, Iceland, Kiana.
No, those are
the AI is not the AI is not in the
Jamaican women name. Guys, run it up in the comments real quick. Jamaican women names. I'm gonna tell you some of them.
Khalil, no.
Anything with an Ann. Stacy Ann. I have a cousin named Sue Ann. I have a cousin named Gail Ann. Anything with an Ann at the end. Shelly Ann. Carrie Ann. Anything with an Ann on it, automatic, quick, fast.
Okay. Are there certain names that you only...
Marcia. Woo.
Marcia?
And Simone.
Auntie Marcia?
I have an Auntie Marcia, and I have a cousin named Marcia, and Simone. Simone's a big one, too.
Okay. Are there nicknames that you get as you get older? Like maybe like some old lady names in Jamaica?
You sure you want to go down this rabbit hole?
Yes.
Jamaicans are the most superficial when it comes to nicknames. You're getting whatever you get based off how you look. My dad has a friend named Tippa. Like Tippa. Tippa. You know why they call him that?
Because he tips when he goes out?
No, because when he was born, one leg is a little shorter than the other. So when he walks, he kind of has a little hop. Like he's tiptoeing. The foot that's shorter, he like tips. So they call him Tippa.
I would have called him Terry Fox or just Terry or Fox.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, Jamaicans. There's like if you're missing an eye, I'm gonna call you like if you're blind, I'm gonna call you can't see or something like that. They just be having the names like.
And once
if you're short man. If you're big man. If your belly's big, is a big belly man. If you're brown skin, like me, a few of my Jamaican appointed nicknames: Whitey, Red Gal, Big Red, Fatty. Fatty's a big one, and let me tell you something. If you're not from Jamaica and you go to Jamaica and someone walks up to you and calls you fatty and you're fatting, emotional damage, But when I'm down there, like if someone up here came up to me and be like, hey, fatty, I'd be like, oh. When I'm Jamaican and the nigga comes up to me, he's like, wagwan fatty, and I'm good. Because, that's why even Fluffy's a very loving term. I think it was you that I had spoken to when we first met. You're like, I feel weird calling you Fluffy because it sounds like, it's kind of like, what is it? But you have to think like a teddy bear, like you're fluffy,
Yeah, no,
you're filled.
It does sound like squishy. Endearing, like affectionate,
yeah,
almost,
it is.
But yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted people to call you Fluffy or we just called you Fluffy.
It was a forced name or something. I didn't usually associate myself. That wasn't I was always Shay Sweetumz. That was always the nickname for it. I used to be Shay Casper because I was white, so they used to call me Casper for a while. So it was Shay Casper, eventually turned to Shay Sweetumz. But I never really took on the term Fluffy. I usually reserve that. I usually leave that for the fat white women that go to Jamaica and fall in love. They love to call themselves Fluffy. They love that for themselves. Because, as I said, here, the big girls, you might be a 4, but in Yard, you're some niggas 10s out there. You know what I'm saying?
Like dream girls. As a big girl,
I am.
Like a man will worship the ground you walk on, take care of you. Damn. I wonder if I'm someone's 10 in Jamaica. There's some girl that's just dreaming of some bald Arab dude with tats to sweep her off her feet.
You're a 10 in Jamaica.
Yo, what are we doing here?
And you're tatted?
Come on.
Are you stupid?
Come on.
How tall are you?
5'11".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a real 5'11". You're not one of those bullshit.
Nah, I'm I could lie.
I've had 5'11s come and stand right, and the two of us are looking eye to eye, and I'm like, you're 5'11", and he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Have you ever been with a dude shorter than you?
Shorter than me? No. Closer to my height, yeah. My first husband was I think he was 5'9". I'm 5.
Really?
Yeah, that's short for me.
I thought bro was 6'4". I don't know why.
My baby father's 6'4".
Oh, okay.
Big up my baby father.
Okay. Okay. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Shay Sweetumz, and I mean all of them. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Bigo. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Insta. Everything at Shay Sweetumz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shay Sweetumz in the building. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.